Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Nakwam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Malak Yabushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Malak Yabushai. A hearty, mighty Shalom to all of the men of the Lord, the mighty men out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their body as a living sacrifice, enduring all things for the elect's sake, and pushing this truth. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. And shalom to everybody tuning in live. Got a mighty topic through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Here are some more prophecies, or here are some prophecies that still must come to pass. Right? Here are some prophecies that still must come to pass. And we're going to touch on particular events that the Most High has ordained of old. Right? And these things are things in the so-called year 2023, and only the Most High knoweth what year it is, in great detail, but nevertheless, we want to go into these different events that we can expect to see in 2023, if it's the will of the Most High, based off of prophecy, the judgments of the Lord, you understand, the prophetic statements that the Heavenly Father's put out there, rather it's World War III, whether the Most High does so-and-so. We're going to go into these different prophecies. We're going to go into the Apocrypha. We're going to go into the book of Revelation. We may go into Ezekiel, Zechariah, and we're going to cover to prophecy, or prophesy rather. Right, let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians, right, chapter 14. Right, we're going to go into these different prophecies so we can understand what to look for on the earth. Right, what can we see on the earth and understand that these things were ordained of old. So let's go to 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, and I'm going to read verse 1, and then I'm going to jump down. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. You'll see that. So the Apostle Paul told the church of Corinth that it's okay to have spiritual gifts. It's okay to speak in tongues. It's okay to, have these different gifts to benefit the body. You had men that could heal. You had diversity of administrations, such as helps. You had apostleship. You had prophets. You had evangelists. You had all types of men that helped do the work of the Most High, man. Now, Yahweh Shai said, covet to prophesy. What does that mean to covet? It means yearn, to desire, to prophesy. Meaning you have to be able to go into the word of the Most High. And one of the highest offices is breaking the prophecies down and declaring what the Heavenly Father is going to do on the earth. So prophecy is a big deal, right? Does that mean if you don't know the prophecies, you're not going to make it to the kingdom? I don't know, right? I'm not Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, man. Only the Most High know it, because you do have to know particular things that are going to happen, right? The Most High told you about prophecies, what to look out for, how to deal with particular situations. So it's very paramount that you know prophecy. Right, and you may not have all of the deep understanding on the breakdowns, but at least you understand what the Most High is going to do on the earth and how to save yourself and your household from the danger and judgment coming on the earth, man. That's why it's paramount or important to understand these prophecies. Let's go to Sirach, the 39th chapter. Right, let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 39, and not only know the prophecies, but understand the sequence of events. Right, so what we call the chronology of prophecy. Right, understanding how these prophecies play out one after the other, and how they're written historically in the word of the Lord, man. Right, because you can know the prophecy, you can know about World War III, you can know about the second wilderness, you can know about spiritual bodies, you can know about these things, but you want to also have an understanding, because you can have the knowledge of what's going to happen, but you may not have the understanding, which means you may not know what prophecy precedes the other prophecy, right? Or you may think that the second wilderness comes before the lake of fire. You may think that World War III comes after, receiving your spiritual body. So you want to understand the order of the prophecies too. And that's why you have to put this thing together like a puzzle, man. Right, let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. So a man of the Lord, a man in his truth, he's going to be occupied in prophecies. Yeah, he'll be in the law too, right? He'll be in the Proverbs, he'll be in the Psalms, he'll be in the Gospels, he'll be in the epistles. He'll touch on those different things. But the majority of his time, he's in the prophecies, because his job is to warn the people based off of their wisdom that the Most High has given him. So now he's looking at, okay, the Most High is going to do this on the earth. Okay, but then before he does that, okay, that means this has to happen first. Okay, let me tell the people what to do because this is going to happen. So you want to be able to understand these things for your sake and to warn the people, man. So the Lord said you have to be occupied in prophecies. Like when you go to a room, or when people got to use the bathroom and you go to that porta potty, it says occupied, meaning somebody's dwelling in there. A hotel room, occupied. So you want to occupy yourself in the prophecies. Prophecy is one of the many rooms in the Bible. You have the law, that's the room you could dwell in. You have the prophecies, that's another room you could dwell in. You got the epistles, you got the gospels, you got the history. These are all different rooms you can occupy yourself in. But the Most High said also be occupied in prophecies. So let's read on. Because you may have people that downplay prophecy. Or you don't have to know the prophecy. You just got to wear your fringes and your beard. Okay, brother. Okay, you got your fringes on. Okay, you got your beard. Now, what is Jacob's trouble? And how do I avoid it? And how do I know to look out for it? Okay, what's the abomination of desolation? Man, you gotta know these things, man. The Lord said, be not ignorant in anything, in a great matter or a small. You have to know prophecy to understand salvation. You got to know about the chariots coming. You got to know about being translated. You got to know about all these things, man. Let's read on in Sirach chapter 39 and verse 2. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. So certain men, they're conversant in dark parables, meaning they're able to go into the breakdowns and speak eloquently, and not just eloquently, they love to talk about it. When you're conversant in something, it means you do it. You can speak about it, you know about it, you may know the ins and outs of it. Like somebody that's conversant in mechanics of a car. They'll say, well, look, that's the carburetor. Okay, that's the engine. All right, that's that. And if you take the engine this way, and they know the whole deal, man. And that's how you got to be. It's lucky you.
Shalom, King.
Shalom, shalom. And that's how you got to be with the word of the Most High. The Lord says you have to be conversant in dark parables, right? And we're going to go into these prophecies that still have to happen. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, but he hath tried the good and the evil among men. You see that? So one of the main things that brothers want to get into, especially with the times we live in, is you want to always have your head on a spiritual swivel. You want to always pay attention to what's going on. You want to pay attention to what's going on on a geopolitical level. You want to know what's going on a diplomatic level. You want to know what's going on a global economy, financial level. You want to know what's going on with this actual breakdowns of the scriptures and how they relate to real life events. These are the things that you want to get involved in, because the Bible is living. It's not some ancient book from thought. It's an ever living book. It's speaking right now. The Most High said the Spirit speaketh expressly. So the Most High has the Spirit coming out through the word of the Lord, man. And you have to get into these words so you can get into the Spirit. Hey, Yahweh Shah said one more point in John 6 and 63. He says, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life, man. So you need that spirit of prophecy to be able to give our people life. What you got it, King?
Con. I'm gonna get this quick precept too. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, and have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship God. But the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy." And that's plain, man. So Yahushua is about prophecy, man.
Right.
Don't just think the Lord just came on the scene just to heal. Hey, the Lord was prophesied, man. We read about that all throughout the Gospels. Luke chapter 21, right? Mark 13. You keep going and you keep going. The Lord was prophesying about the end of the earth, right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 7. It says, yeah, the stork in the heaven know her appointed times. So you have different animals, they know their appointed times. Bears know when to hibernate, they come out of hibernation. You have certain ants, they know when to work, come out, they do their business, they resort back. You understand where they came from. These different animals, like the stork, they know their appointed times. It says, and the turtle and the crane and the swallow observe the times of their coming, right? So all these things observe the times of their coming. It says this, but my people know not the judgment of the Lord. So all of these animals, they know their appointed times, but our people don't understand judgment. They don't go into prophecy. They don't see why things are the way they are. They don't care to realize why there are volcanoes, damn earthquakes, famines, right? All hell breaking loose, right? Leagues being formed in the world. So the Lord is telling you, man, hey, understand judgment, no prophecy, understand the times. The Lord told you about that in the book of Matthew, the 16th chapter, man, about the Pharisees, right? You can literally say, well, when it's gray outside, right? Let me get it real fast. Right, let me get this quick precept. So you could carnally discern the signs at a time by looking up, by how much more the end of the world. The Lord already told you about these things. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 16, in verse number, I'm going to start at 1. And the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. And Jake want to know so bad when the end of the world is, when it's going to come to pass. Well, the Lord is showing you, man. All you got to do is open your eyes and look around, man. Don't just look on your neighboring city or your neighboring block, man. Okay, well, it's a grocery store. We still got some chicken on the shelf, so some watermelon, some chips. We good to go. You don't know what's going on in the four corners of the earth, man. It says, he answered and said unto them, when it is even, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye could discern the face of the sky, but cannot discern the signs of the times. So the Lord said, man, a lot of men are essentially hypocrites, man. And you're going to be caught like a thief in the night because you wasn't watching this whole time when the Lord was playing out everything in the scriptures right before your eyes.
God, and these things are happening. And when the Most High starts speeding things, and prophecies are happening every day, right? That the ICBM missiles, it's not just the only prophecy, right? The chariots, it's not the only prophecy. You have manifold prophecies that still must come to pass, right? You have to understand that you can't sum up all the prophecy in the destruction of America. Esau kissing the boot, Isaiah 49:23, Revelation 13:10, Jeremiah 30:16, etc. These are not the only prophecies, right? And we want to go into these through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and just break these things down and give our people more insight on what they can look out for, man. You know, you can even Google, I just did it. They say, what will happen in 2023? You can look it up. And Esau has all of these different things about what he's confirming it, about what he thinks is going to happen in 2023. He's talking about China. He's talking about Taiwan. So even Esau and these nations, they're trying to look at to see what's going to happen in the future, man. But Jake, your mind ain't right, man. Even these nations, they deal with forecasting. That's what businesses deal with, man. They forecast sales, demand, right? They deal with all types of ordering of material, customers. Esau got so-called weathermen, they deal with forecast. They tell you what they're expecting things to be 4 days from now with the weather, man. You know, even though that's on the left-hand side, Jake don't even want to get into that on the right-hand side. And you're an actual prophet, man. You're the only people on the earth who knows what's going to happen before it happens. That's like what they call a superpower, man. Think about the gift. You literally have been chosen to know what's going to happen. And it's not like a fortune teller. It's not like a lottery. You literally know, man. Well, let me get this precept real quick. This First Timothy chapter 1 and verse, I'm going to start at 18. Right? First Timothy 1 and 18. This charge I commit unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee, that thou by them mightest war a good warfare. So you need the prophecies to war good warfare in this thing, man. That's what the Apostle Paul said, man. The Apostle Paul said, remember the prophecies that went before on thee, that you may war a good warfare. So what does that mean? It means when you're dealing with the judgment to the Most High, when you're dealing with the events that he's going to do on the earth, you have to know how to avoid these things and how soon they're going to be. You understand? You have to know how soon World War III is. So you can war good warfare. You can continually fight these demons. You can measure the time. Let me get that real quick in 2nd Ezra, real quick, chapter 9. Right? You got to have these prophecies to war a good warfare in the truth. So now you know what to avoid, what to expect. Well, let's get this in 2nd Ezra chapter 9 real quick. Quick precept. 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Man, there's so many prophecies. Just thinking off the top, it's just a lot, man. Yeah. Right? 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. Let me get this real quick. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So the Most High said, measure the time. Does that mean you take a ruler and hold it up to your clock? Okay, well, the 12 is about 3 inches from the 1. Okay, then, but the 1 is kind of slanted, so I kind of measure the 2. And then, okay, you break open the clock, you break the glass and sweep up the glass and put the glass in the trash can, and then you take the head. No, man, you don't have to do that. When the Most High said measure the time, what does that simply mean? It means to pay attention to what's going on the earth based off of what's written in the Bible. And then you see how close the prophecies are to each other. You see how far they are away from each other. That's what you do with measurements. See how close something is, how long something is. You understand? And you know how to act accordingly. That's why brothers have to measure the times. You got brothers thinking that Moses is still coming down from Mount Sinai. Well, that brother, he's not measuring the time. If you're still waiting on Moses to come down from Mount Sinai, you got to get into this thing. Your mind is bad. You waiting on Baruch to bring the epistle to you that Jeremiah gave him in captivity. Brother, that already happened. You think that you're already past Jacob's trouble? Brother, that didn't happen yet. Yeah, bro, this is Jacob's trouble. I can feel it. That didn't happen. So you got brothers that they think they passed the prophecies. You got brothers that don't know the prophecies. You know, but you got it, King.
Con. And that could overthrow your faith too, man, not knowing the prophecies. Because you got certain men. Let me get this quick. That made me think of something. I was going to get 2nd Esdras, but let me get this real fast. That made me think about something. Right? This is the book. Right? At 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 17. I'm going to start at 16. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. For their word will eat as doeth a cranker, of whom Hymenaeus and Philetus, whom concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past. So you had these two men running around saying that the resurrection is past. It says, and overthrew the faith of some. Because these men, they wasn't learned and rooted. That's why they got overthrown. If you sitting up here thinking, leaning on your own understanding, or false prophets, or men that have no understanding, you're going to be overthrown, huh? That's not just going to overthrow that one prophecy, bro. That's going to overthrow you out the truth. Well, maybe we are in Jacob's trouble. Maybe I am in Job the 5th chapter. Maybe I'm being hid because you're eating dinner, man. Right? You start to bug out. Right? Your wife bring you some wine. Well, maybe I'm the elect. And then you start to feel like the Most High dealing with you on some high grand level because you don't know the times, brother. You overthrowing yourself. So these men were running around saying that the resurrection was past, man. Right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 4, and verse number 33. Then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? So Ezra wasn't asking, just any random questions, man. His mind was as a prophet's mind. And if you had an angel at your disposal to inquire, any man with any diligent understanding will want to know these things, man. He says, when should these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? And he answered me, saying, do not thou hasten above the Most High, for thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded. So, Ezra is asking, when is the end of the world going to come to pass? What's going to happen in the days to come? He was hungry and thirsty for the prophecies, man. He fasted. He was diligent for him. He inquired for him. Right? You can't just look at Ezra as a physical man. He will be a representation of a prophet, man. A prophet's life. And everything that he went through, right? Being strong, getting the visions, right? Prophesied, right? Fainting, man. Right? The angel coming to strengthen him. All of these are the things that the servants of the Lord see in the last days. You got it.
Yeah, and I wanna actually go back to 2nd Esdras 9 real quick to add to that. So don't negate prophecy. Do not negate the prophecy. 2nd Esdras chapter 9. And then sometimes, man, if you tell somebody a lot of these prophecies ain't nothing nice coming out of it in terms of the judgment of the Most High towards the wicked. Now that could stir up somebody's spirit to want to get right, man. You say, if you tell, hey, look, the Most High really going to destroy this place. Hey, the Most High is going to cut this place down, man. Hey, World War III is right around the corner. That'll instill a righteous fear in somebody, man. And that'll stir the spirit up to come closer to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right now, I want to finish reading in 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. Right? 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 2. I'm going to read one again. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Now, when you measure time, there's people that study time. People that study time are called orologists, right? Let me pull that up. We pulled this up in time past, right? That's somebody who studies time. See, Jake, they want to be a botanist. You want to be a scientist. You want to be a paleontologist. The men of the Lord study orology. They're into orology, right? Now, orology is the study and measurement of time. Now, this doesn't mean, like, people do that on a literal level, but we're spiritual orologists, which means, look, we say, okay, look, this prophecy happened. Okay, in a few years, okay, this prophecy is going to happen based off of X, Y, and Z. We're orologists, man. The study of measurement and time. What does an orologist do? Right, let's see. And this is what brothers got to get into on a spiritual level. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, orologists. Okay, Salaki, bear with us. All right, they may not show it, right? But you can kind of look it up on your own, right? You can look it up on your own. They study time, the study and measurement of time. Now, they say the art of making clocks and watches, right? But when you're watching something, you're watching according to a time, man. That's why you have watchmen that were actually set up at certain times throughout the night. And they would measure the time because they work shifts. So one watchman, he'll be out there from, let's say, 10 p.m. or sunset to 10 p.m. He's measuring the time. He's okay, I got 5 more minutes. Okay, but I'm watching. Then the next watchman, he'll go up and he'll be out there from, 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. You know, and then the third watchman, he has to get up on his shift on time. He has to measure the time and say, look, it's time for my shift. I'm closing out. I do 2 p.m. till the sun come up. You had 3 watches in the ancient world. You had a middle watch, you had the night watches, and all of these men, you know, measured the time. So they can understand not only when it was their so-called shift to do the will of the Most High, but also when they could actually protect and serve their people. You know? Now let me read that next verse real quick. Verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So the Most High is visiting the world. And he's not coming down here with chocolates, right, and roses. The Most High is visiting the world with destruction, wildfires, hurricanes, bombs, robbery, breaking down an economy, financial disaster amongst kingdoms. That's how the Most High is visiting the world. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. So you got to know the beginnings, you have to know the endings. Now, the Most High said when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world. I'm going to say one more thing. You have to have a checklist, for lack of better terms, right? This is how this is a great way to study prophecy. You see the prophecies, right? And you check them off, man. Okay, we got uproars of the people of the world, and then the Most High said earthquakes. So you kind of write them down. You met, okay, have these things happen. So you look at what's going on in the world. You say, okay, I have seen uproars of the people in Haiti, in England, in France, in China, in Babylon. So guess what? You check that off, right? Has there been earthquakes? Yes, there's been earthquakes all over the world. So you check that off. So now you say, okay, so 2nd Ezra 9, okay, that one happened already. And then you move on to the next one, right? You know, but you got it, King.
Come. Right, let me get 2nd Esdras, chapter 14 and verse number 3. It says, then said he unto me, in the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses and talk with him when my people served in Egypt. So when Yahweh Shem Yahushua came down to talk to Moses, it says, and I sent him and led my people out of Egypt and brought him up into the Mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season and told him many wonderful things. So the Lord didn't just tell Moses the dietary law. That's all he got was the dietary law. And all that he got, you understand, was about the fringes and this and that, man. Just the law physically, man. Now, the Lord was down there breaking down similitudes, mysteries, prophecies. You talking about the Most High, man. The Most High deals with prophecy. It says, it told him many wonderful things and shewed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. So the Most High is with hiding things, revealing things, prophecy. So when Moses was upon that mount, he was getting in-depth secrets, man. He wouldn't just come down with just the tables of stones and that was it, man. He was just up there fasting. And it just was what it was. It's a big mystery. Smoke, darkness, flames of fire, and then he just came down physically. Now he was getting down to in-depth mysteries. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, and verse number 4. I'm going to start at 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives over against the temple, Peter and James and John and Andrew asked him privately. So peep out of all of the disciples that Peter, James, John, and Andrew asked him privately, because their mind was upon the prophecies. It says, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? So they wanted to know not only when Yahweh Shah prophesied it, when it was going to come to pass, but how it was going to come to pass. The exact minute it was going to come to pass. Because these men were prophets, man. Every prophet is going to be addicted to the prophecy. You got a basketball player, he's addicted to the jump shot. You got somebody that goes and fluent in different languages. He's picking up Latin, he's picking up Greek, he's picking up Hebrew. Because that's his thing, that's his gift. A prophet is going to be conversant and addicted into the prophecies, just like Peter, James, John, and Andrew. So these men had to know these things because it's in their spirit eating them up. You got it.
And speaking of that, a lot of brothers in the truth, they ask the same thing. Like the brother said, brothers look forward to these things, man. We look forward to the prophecies, man. We get excited. We always say keep watch. Now, just to put this out there, since we read 2 Ezra 9, a lot of prophecies you see happening around the world, you may see riots, right? And we've done Are You Watching series, right? Are You Watching? And we'll go into current events to keep our people on our toes when it comes to the handiwork of Yahweh Shah. Now, you have uproars of the people in Haiti. All hell is breaking loose in Haiti right now. If you pull up Haiti, I mean, literally, it's complete pandemonium. It's anarchy in Haiti. It's anarchy in other countries. If you have been watching over the past 2 years, we don't even have to go back, 10 or so, just 2 years. You can see in every major city or every major country, there have been a major spirit of the citizens of that country rebelling against that government, overthrowing their leaders, overthrowing their prime ministers, damn near ready to assassinate these men. One of the major prophecies that's going to that's going to have that really kick off is when the famine come in. Now, right now, if brothers been watching, you've been noticing that a lot of these prices kind of skyrocket. They're talking about so-called eggs now, or actual eggs. Eggs are damn through the roof. Now, the so-called white man, what he was doing last year, if you've been watching, right, is he was burning down major food processing plants all throughout the country. He burned down all of these factories, manufacturing places, and he burnt down all of these food processing plants. So in due time, he can skyrocket the price of food because the supply is so low, the demand is going to be high. Therefore, the trajectory is going to be damn near through the roof again, man. So we are looking forward. One of the major prophecies is the famine coming to Babylon the Great, coming to America. That's one of the major prophecies that's going to transpire, whether you believe it or not. And we can back it up with the Bible. And some prophecies, let me put this out there, they're going to happen at the same time. So some prophecies overlap. It's not as if, okay, there's a famine, okay, it lasted, 2 years, okay, the famine's over, now food comes up out the ground, now it's World War III. It don't work like that. Some prophecies, they actually overlap each other, right? And they become convoluted, and they become one big judgment of the Most High, right? So that's why it's important to see that. You got to see what's going on, man, right? I'm going to pull a precept, but I want to pull this up. All right, you got it. I'm going to find this real quick.
The backup what the brother was just going into, this 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 5. It says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? So the Lord's asking the question, can you drive away a hungry lion? Okay, a famine, you drive it away. Now something else coming, do you just drive that away? Now when that lion's on the scene, brother, that lion is on the scene, man. When this creature is on the scene, it's going to devour. So the Lord said, you can't drive away these prophecies when they start to come to pass. It says, if any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or man any one quench the fire in stubble, when it have begun to be burned, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench you. So the Lord said, when these things starts to kick off, who's going to stop it? Who's going to slow it up? Who's going to stay the Lord's hand? Because these things are going to be dropping back to back simultaneously. It's not going to be in World War III, one bomb, and then 2 years later, it's another bomb. Then 5 years later, it's another bomb. Now, when World War III kick off, all hell going to be breaking loose, man. There's going to be bombs everywhere. And then you're going to have to understand, look, this is what the days that we were reading about. You got it.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and when certain Salakia, can you hear me?
Come.
I don't know what happened, Salakia. And I was going to say too, when certain prophecies happen, things speed up. Things are going to speed up, right? So you have to also understand that the Most High deals with, for lack of better terms, he deals with man's position in this time. So certain things move fast, right? And then certain times things are kind of slowing down. Not that time is actually moving slow. It just means that a lot isn't happening. So sometimes when the Most High kind of really start putting his hand in, things are going to start moving fast, man. When this famine kick off, this economy collapse, the sound of the grinding is low, that's when it's really like, go time. Right now, things are happening, but they're not really happening if you understand. And you got war, you got bloodshed, you got things going on in the earth. The Most High is still touching the earth. But there are major prophecies and key events that let us really know the severity at the time that we're living in. Now, I want to pull this up on the screen real quick. Now, this is Satan trying to cause confusion. All right, let me see if I can pull this up. All right, this should be showing. This is from today. Right? This is from today. All right, are you able to see this?
Come.
See. Okay, it's showing. Can you hear me?
Can I hear you? You kind of breaking up now, King.
Okay, Khan. Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I just want to read this real quick. Now, it says, act of God. Oh, it's breaking up. It's still breaking up.
Come.
See that? You got it, King. If the sound bad, you got it.
Come. Right, and to touch on that, it's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse number 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right, so I mean, Habakkuk said he's going to stay on his watch, man. No matter what's going on, he's going to be diligent to see when the Most High is going to speak to him. Because you may stand on your watch and then faint in your watch. And then what happens? The Lord is not dealing with you, man. When you go to the book of 1 Samuel, I want to get this quick precept, right? 1 Samuel chapter 11 and verse 11. It says, and it was on the morrow that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came in the midst of the host in the morning watch. So Saul was setting up his army, and he had different watches. He had the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites unto the heart of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that they 2 of them were not left together. So, I mean, even in the ancient world, you had different watches. Watches at the nighttime, right in the midst of the morning, right in the middle of the night. So these watches were very important. If people wasn't watching in the ancient world, your whole city could be besieged. There could be blood on your hands and death by you not watching. What do you think is happening right now, man? You got prophecies coming to pass. And if you're not watching these things, it's going to catch you like a thief in the night. This Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. So that appointed time, you got to be ready for. If you're not ready for that appointed time at the bus stop, what's going to happen? That bus is going to go right on by, man. That one time, brother, you bent down to tie your shoes, right, for damn 50 seconds, or did God knows what, or turned around on the phone, brother, you missed your whole bus. You was waiting for the bus for 35 minutes. But just because you wasn't vigilant in your watch, it came like a thief in the night. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Yet, though it tarry. So the Lord said, though these things tarry, and you may feel like, damn, I've been in this truth 10 years. I've been in this thing 5 months. I haven't seen anything yet. That goes into you being patient, you believing, you stand on the edge of your seat. It says, wait for it, because it will surely, surely come, it will not tarry. You got it.
Khan, are you able to hear me?
Khan, I can hear you.
All right, Khan, yes, Satan, man. I wanted to pull this up. I may not be able to pull it up. You know, you can look it up on your own, but essentially, when you're looking up the prices of particular foods right now, they're even coming out and saying that there's a food crisis. Now, does this mean all food is going to be gone tomorrow? No. See, the Most High, what the Most High does in prophecy is the Most High does, he fulfills prophecy by little and by little at times. So you may have the ultimate final nail in the coffin that the Most High do, but the Most High kind of, like when you box, you kind of beat somebody down, body shot after body shot, you hit them ribs, them kidneys, you gut check, and then after maybe, you know, the 10th, maybe 20th, 30th hit, and he's down for the count, man. He's going to have a great fall. You know, and that's what the Most High does for particular prophecies. You know, a key example is what the Most High is doing in Babylon the Great. Bro, I'm not sure. Is it a lag?
Kind of a little bit, but I can hear you.
All right, let me read this real quick. Right, let's go to the Book of Wisdom of Solomon. Right, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter. See, I want to pull this stuff up, and now I hell breaking loose. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, and verse 9. I'm gonna start at 8. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 8. Nevertheless, even those thou sparest as men, and didst send a wasp, forerunners of thine hosts, to destroy them by little and little. So the Most High said he sent forerunners of his host. What does that mean? It means before Israel got to the land of Canaan to destroy them, the Most High already sent other beasts and spirits out there to destroy them. So before the Lord sent an army of the heavenly angels, he already has spirits out here breaking down America. America's being broken down right now. No, you may not see a building collapse. You may not see, you know, the damn White House on fire, but it's being broken down. Right? The financial disaster is blowing up, man. Unemployment rate, food prices going crazy. Things are getting bad, man. Right? Let me read on. Nevertheless, even though, Slakia, verse 9, not that thou wast unable to bring the ungodly under the hand of the righteous in battle, or to destroy them at once with cruel beasts, or with one rough word. Because if the Most High wanted to, he could destroy America with one rough word, man. He could say, be gone. He could say, shalom, man. Boom, peace, and just destroy them, man. The Most High don't have to send the missiles to destroy America. He don't have to send the chariots. You know? The Most High could do what he want to do. The Most High don't even have to move, and America could be on fire and burned. So that's what this is talking about, man. It reads, not this Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 9, not that thou was unable to bring the ungodly under the hand of the righteous in battle, or to destroy them at once with cruel beasts or with one rough word. And that's going into the Canaanites. But executing thy judgments upon them by little and little. Thou gavest them place of repentance, not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation, and that their malice was bred in them, and that their cogitation would never be changed. You see that? So the Most High destroys places by little and by little. So yeah, the prices of eggs are skyrocketing, but that doesn't mean tomorrow there's going to be no food in the stores. It's by little and by little, brother. Don't you know? And it starts with eggs, then it goes to this, then it goes to that, then it goes to this. Then it leads to what? Robbery and looting. And then with looting comes violence, right? And murder, then anarchy, then riots. One of the, along with that famine, the riots in America have yet to happen. See, the Most High save America best for last. He's doing the riots in the other world. I mean, these other places to show you what the hell is coming to America. And when they hit America, it's going to be times 144, man. So you're going to have that famine, but it's also going to be these major riots going on in Babylon the Great. And that's going to also, and you got prophecies to go with that, which we'll touch on. But you got it, King.
Con. And that's that way in the spirit. You know, the Lord said, he that contempt of small things shall fall by little and little. Right? So if you stop coming to camp, you stop reading, you stop fasting and praying, you're going to slowly fall all of this truth, man. So this thing is extremely serious. Right? It's the book of Ezekiel, right, chapter 12 and verse 21. And I mean, just like any meal, when you eat it, you got your favorite part of the meal, man. You may have the meat. That may be the heaviest part. Or you may have the cornbread, man. Or something sweet. Or some cinnamon on it. Maybe your favorite part, or that gravy, man. You supping it up. These prophecies, it's going to keep you alive in this thing. It's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's going to continuously excite you. Because new things are happening right before your eyes that we're reading about in the scriptures. Every day is something new. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12 and verse number 22. Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying that the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? You got people in this truth saying that, man. These visions are falling. Stop scaring people. You know, I had somebody say, you're talking about what they say. If I had $1 for every single time you talked about the end of the world, or stop pressing out people to be on fire. Well, that person isn't going to make it, man. It says literally every vision faileth. That's what everybody thinking this thing. Tell them, therefore, that saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease. The Lord is not somebody you want to play with, man. Oh, this thing isn't coming to pass. Oh, we keep hearing about the famine. You think all of these daggone different nations are continuously to catch hell, and America is just going to sit back on this big old bed, man, and just relax all the days of their life? This place is reserved for damn last to be destroyed, man. Damn near, man. All of these different nations, as you look around, they're getting hit by something, and it's overthrowing right their country. It says, tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it, a proverb in Israel, but saying to them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. So the Lord is saying this in the time of Ezekiel, that the effect of every vision is at hand. How much more now? And the Lord told Ezra how much time was on the clock. When you read the book of Second Ezra, the 14th chapter, verse 10 all the way down. How much more time must we be living in now? Peter even said it was the end of the world in Acts, the 2nd chapter. These aren't drunk. It's the prophet Joel that spoke of, paraphrasing. So it says, but there shall be no more vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. But I, the Lord, will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass, shall be no more prolonged. And every single time that there's ever been destruction on the earth, what does the Most High do? He sends the prophets. If you look up right now, it's so many different camps out here, so many brothers prophesying the end of the world. That should tell you something. The Lord say that they seek the wicked generation seeking for a sign. They're not going to see a sign, but the prophet Jonas. The prophet Jonah is the sign in the end of the world, man. The prophets out there warning you to repent and come back to the Lord, but men aren't going to take heed. They're just looking around, just carnally, like, oh, I guess this camps are just being opened up out of nowhere. Hey, man, in the last 5 years, King, how many camps did the Most High bless the congregation with? At least like,
I can't call it.
Me neither. I was talking to somebody today about that. Said, damn, over 10 at least, man. At least. Yeah. More than 10. Way more than 10. And that's humble through the Most High, that the Most High is doing that. And that's only in a span of 4 to 5 years. And that's just one congregation. That's just us. Think about all in the different congregations, the different men, and men that aren't even on the internet having the posters out there shaking their head. The Most High is putting a spirit on these men on the earth for a specific reason, to let you know all hell was about to break loose. Now, let me get this last precept. It says, verse 25, for I am the Lord. I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass, and it shall be no more prolonged. For your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, saith the Lord God. So it's only so much rape, murder, bloodshed, blasphemy, and sin that the Most High is going to put up with before he gives the go to destroy this place.
God, and that's a good point, man. What happened before the Babylonians fell? The Most High sent Daniel out there. In Daniel the 5th chapter, he said, your kingdom has been found wanting. When the hand came on the wall. In Daniel the 5th chapter, that's where you get the saying, the writings on the wall from. Daniel said, he broke it down. Your kingdom has been found wanting and is given to the Medes and the Persians. Many, many ticky you farson. Right? Daniel was the last prophet before the Babylonian Empire fell, man, who prophesied to the king. Right? When the so-called northern kingdom fell, Elijah was sent out there. Elisha was sent out there. When the kingdom of Judah fell, who was out there? Jeremiah was out there. Ezekiel was out there. The Most High, like the Most High always sends the prophets out there, man. Stop expecting a big speaker, man, to be ascended in the sky one day with a big brown hand and a microphone, man. Brothers got to understand what's going on. And I want to get the classic in Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, right? I got to get this one. Jeremiah chapter 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. So if you got men out there prophesying the peace and they come to pass, okay, the Most High is dealing with them. If World War III never happens, okay, the Most High is dealing with those guys. You got guys that say World War III won't happen. The Bible not real. The white man wrote that book. Who wrote that? What version is that? The King James? He was a so-and-so. Man wrote that. I am God. You know how much stuff we heard that cat, man? I mean, stuff that you wouldn't even, you never thought that you would hear. We asked Jake his nationality. He said, I'm Mongolian. We've heard I'm hood. F my nationality. We've heard all types of madness, man. So the Most High has these men out there scoffing against the Bible. Now, let's say there's no judgment. Then, okay, we're going to follow them. If World War III never happens, we're going to go follow those guys. Right? But we know that that's a fable, man, and a lie. The Lord said, then shall there be known that the Lord has truly sent that prophet. So if you see war, evil, and pestilence, and then those men was right, man. They was telling you the real deal. Now, real quick, what you're looking at on your screen, it says inflation is easing, but some grocery prices are expected to soar in 2023, including one whose price rose nearly 60% over the past year. 60%. Right? Increase, man. Oh, yeah? We got to get on that, too. Right? Cassadi just sent something. Okay, the average price of a dozen large eggs hit $4.25 in December, up $1.79 a year earlier. General inflation is easing, but the prices of some food items are not going down anytime soon. And the reasons are largely out of the Federal Reserve's control. And we're not going to read this whole article, right? We're not going to read this article, right? If you want to read it, you can read it on your own. but we kind of went through it. The point of the matter is Esau's blaming the prices of food on the avian disease. I don't even know what kind of verbiage you could use now. And he's blaming it on so-and-so, but he's burning facilities down. He's provoking Russia to war. He's doing all of these different things, but it's really the hand of the Most High that's causing this famine to brew up. Hey, man, look, people are only going to pay these high prices for so long. They're going to go to the cash register. They're going to complain, but they ain't going to do nothing about it. They're going to complain. They're going to be mad, but they still going to pay. It's going to get to a point where they're not going to be complaining anymore. People going to be taking stuff. They're doing that now. There's a massive looting. All right, Salaki, I know you want to bring your point out. Let me bring this out real quick. Looting. Let's see, Salaki. Looting. Pandemic. Well, I'll say on the rise. Right? There's massive looting going on the earth right now. Right? Hold on, that's from 2021. I have to find the recent one. But there's massive theft going on, looting, breaking into stores right now. And when this famine kick off, people are going to start taking stuff, man. And these guys that do security at your local grocery store, they're going to have to make a decision. Is it worth it? These people are going to be stealing on a massive level. Is it worth it? Are you going to keep your job? Because a lot of these guys, they're going to be stealing too, man. People going to be fighting in the parking lot. The earth is going to get a lot more violent, man. And it's going to lead to riots. But you got it, King.
Con, I wanted to touch on that too. In 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. Because you may feel like it's violent now. It's not violent right now, man. Not at the level that it's going to reach to. Like, what's your violence right now? Somebody breaking into your car while you sleep.
Right.
Somebody pickpocketing you on the street, knocking your grandmother's purse, and then keep running, man. Or somebody calling out the hood, you on the wrong side of town. But that's light work, man. You're going to come outside and see all hell breaking loose, man. This is the book of 2nd Esdras 16 and verse number 42. I'm going to start at 41. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. So the Most High saying, if you selling, you're going to be that brother that's getting the hell up out of there, man. Because what do you look like having a bread stand? All hell was breaking loose. You got a big old bread stand. You just sitting up there. Brother, you're going to be the lick, man. They're going to look at you and say, okay, well, he got this bread. He got this type of bread. They're going to dive and knock the damn cart down, man. You're going to be fleeing. Brother, that would be like suicide, man. You see a man, it's a massive drought. There's no money around. And you walking around with a big fat knot, man. This high your cash. People are going to overtake you. It says, and that buyeth as one that will lose. Because you're going to buy things, but people are going to be robbing and stealing from you, man. Going to be overthrowing you, man. Right, your grandmother's house, right? They got all of the canned goods in the basement. Whether that, hey, man, if you're not in the spirit, a lot of people going down, destroy and rob their own grandmothers, man. Banging on the door. Right, I know you went grocery shopping. See a finger in the mailbox. Oh, hell breaking loose. Right, somebody banging on your back door. I mean, what are you going to do in those days, man? People going to be breaking inside of your house. And there's no calling the police for protection because it's going to be happening on every street, every city, every town. Hey, the police going to be stealing, man, some of them. It says, he that occupieth merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. Right, so the Lord said the whole economy is going to be overthrown. There's going to be no point of building, selling, buying, because people are going to be stealing from you and overthrowing you. The Most High is going to have to feed you in those days, man. Did not he feed that woman by Elijah through the Spirit in 1 Kings, the 17th chapter? Hey, the Lord will provide for you and care for you. So you constantly getting your bug out bag, your lighter, your flashlight, your this, your that. You got your backpack on. There's nothing wrong with being prepared on a small level, but you don't want to put your trust in carnal things to help you, man. Because you don't know where you're going to end up. You may want to set east, but the Most High may have you to set north, man. You may want to set west, but the Most High set you east. You don't know where you're going to end up or where you're going to be on this earth by the witchcraft, by the nations and damn sorcery pushed out. So you're going to have to be on fire and putting your faith in the Most High. You got it.
God. And this kind of going into the same thing. This about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, December 27th, right? Food shortages may get even worse in 2023. Here's why. Inflation, environmental catastrophes, and fertilization scarcity on our food system. And this really isn't big news. People right now are talking about the Speaker of the House and Congress, and people are talking about the playoffs. Okay, well, what is the Lakers are going to do? And nobody's really talking nation scarcity, because you need that. If you don't have any fertilizer, how are you going to grow your crops? The elder Caleb just sent an article, which we may pull up if time permits or if the Lord permit, that major, I'm going to read this, major natural disasters cost Babylon the Great $165 billion last year. So the Most High is jamming up this economy, man. 100, and he's making you cough up 165 bill. The Lord is doing that, man. Right? The Most High is putting his handiwork on the earth. If you were hoping the new year would mark a renewed era of abundance for the U.S. food system, we have some bad news. The various food shortages that defined the past 12 months, butter, baby formula, eggs, are not only expected to continue, but experts are also predicting that they could get even worse in 2023. And 2023. A lot of brothers saying 2023, that's my Jordan year. They're calling this the Jordan year, man. Right? Everybody got 23 on. It's time to be great. We go. We try and do this. And the Most High said things ain't gonna look too good, man. Let me get this in 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter. And guess what's gonna be happening while the famine is happening? World War III. See, these prophecies, if we had like a graph or like a line graph, and we showed you like the trajectory of these prophecies, the more you have the famine brewing up, it's the more you'll have World War III increasing and increasing. And they're going to meet smack dab at an apex, man. Remember, a lot of these prophecies overlap each other. And then guess what other prophecy is going to be intermingled amongst that? Jacob's trouble. Because as you have the famine increasing and increasing, you have World War III increasing and increasing, but then you also have the Hebrew Israelites being persecuted more and more and more and more. And those three major things, as they continually build up, they're all going to meet at some center point. And once they meet, that's it, man. That's it. That'll be the... Oh, go ahead, King.
One quick point, just to line me back on what you just said. It was like that in the ancient world, right? You had the siege 70 AD, the destruction, and then you had the persecution of the saints simultaneously right after the siege, the destruction.
So, simultaneous prophecies do happen, man. That's another thing part of watching, right? Sometimes the Most High do 2 things at one time, sometimes 3 things, sometimes 7 things. So yes, this famine is happening, but also what we have to have our head on a swivel. We're looking at the famine, but now we're also paying attention to how World War III is escalating, because we understand that as this prophecy increases, that prophecy is going to increase. Okay, now that that's happening, that means that Jacob's trouble, that's going to be stirring up and stirring up and stirring up. So we're looking at this. We're looking at, like, people, they have they don't do it no more, but they used to do a picture in the picture. You remember that, Orion? You be watching TV and you can watch the damn big game on the small time. Not sure what happened to the brother. Can brothers hear me? It froze. Brothers, let me know if they can hear. Right? Right? I don't know if brothers can hear me or not. Let me know if you could hear and see. Right? Can we hear and see? Okay, all right, we back. All right, all praise to the Most High. So let me pull this back up. See that? Right? See, Satan try to make you lose your train of thought. Right? But we back at it. Now let me touch a little bit more on this. All right. So it reads, see that they say Americans' attitude towards paying taxes drops. Yeah, a lot of jakes, you getting caught up in tax season, man. Ain't nothing wrong with doing your thing, but a lot of you just lusting after what you're gonna do with that money, man. Now you handle your business. The Lord said use the word and not abuse it, but don't let that take you away from the prophecies, man. So this says CNBC reports an economic recession is likely to hit in the early months of the new year as inflation, environmental catastrophes, and an ongoing fertilizer shortage continue to wreak havoc, man. And we're praying for this thing to actually kick off. A lot of brothers get depressed when we go into these prophecies because they deep down in their souls, they want this world to continue. They love their job, man. They actually love going to work. They're there first. They're the last one to leave. You got people that love their job. You got people that, they're just freaking off on this society, man. They're trying to buy up their own houses and house after house and, and try to build their own city, man, their own kingdom. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with using this word and not abusing it, kind of, doing your thing, but you can't make this place your rest. You can't make America your own kingdom. The Most High is ready to overthrow this place. I believe, this is a quote, right? I believe 2023 is going to be rough, worse than this year. Tennessee dairy farmer and outspoken agricultural activist Stephanie Nash recently told Fox News, we're going to have supply chain shortage. We're going to have an increase in our food prices at the grocery store. Right? So things are going to get worse. Everybody's saying that. Even these inside guys are saying that. The Bible is saying that. So don't expect life in America to, continue, man, the way that you want it to continue. Let's get this precept real quick. Right? Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, the 7th chapter. And I want to pull something else up because brothers are sending me some stuff, man. And I want to pull this stuff up. Brothers are sending me some stuff. Right? Hold on now. Where we at? Oh, you see that? Damn. See that? Brother Jeremiah. right? Just sent. Look at this, man. Look at this madness. I can only show it off the phone, right? Look at this. Hold on. Let me pull this up, Salakia. Look at this. $32.99 for eggs. $32.99 each. Right? Lucerne eggs, large grade, $32.99. Now the king said that's out in Vegas. Who's paying $32 for some eggs? Jay, you don't got that, man. You don't got that. I'm not gonna say you don't got that. Some brothers, look, I got $32.99, but you don't want to spend $32.99 on eggs. Let me put it like that. You don't want to spend nobody loves eggs that much when they're gonna take $32 and just dish it into eggs like that, man. So this thing is getting tight, man. Things are getting tight. $32.99. Look at this. You can't make this up. We're not making this up. This is real. A brother is out on the West Coast. He took a picture in real time and sent it. Oh, them brothers in WFI, they be lying. They be making up stuff. They're just out there to say stuff. Whoa, you can't get around that, right? You can't get around that. Let me get this precept, and we're gonna pull up some more stuff, right? So one of the major prophecies that we have to look forward to is the famine. Now, should you be worried? Okay, I may not have food. Should that be a thought? Well, I don't know. Well, if there's no food, what do I do? Well, you keep your faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and you'll fare well. You'll be fine. If you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, if you believe in his truth, if you're being upright to the best of your ability and keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments through faith, you'll be just fine. We're not worried about that. You know, we look at it, we mock Babylon the Great when we see stuff like that. We're not worried because we know what the Most High has done for our forefathers of old, man. We read the scriptures and we know what the Most High did for Elijah. How was Elijah fed? At one time, he was fed by the ravens. They came and brought him flesh, and he drank of the brook. The Lord used the beasts and the birds to feed the prophets. In 1 Kings, the 17th chapter, the Lord also sent an angel down to bake a cake and give it to Elijah. And guess how long that cake lasted him after he ate it? 40 days and 40 nights. He went in the strength of one cake, man, or two cakes. So the Most High can have you find a crumb and eat a crumb, and you full for 3 years. See, people want to limit Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Oh, I don't know, Lord. Can you really do $32.99? Because, I don't know if you can do $32.99. That's kind of maybe you can do $7, but you can't. No, man. You have to have faith in the Most High. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Keep your faith in the Most High. Keep the commandments. Continually enduring. And you don't have to worry about this. When we go into these prophecies and we talk about the destruction, that's for the wicked. Let me get this in Ezekiel, the 18th chapter. It's not for the righteous. The Most High said he has no pleasure in the death of the righteous or in the death of the wicked, Salaki, but that the wicked turn from his evil way, man. Right? I want to get this in Ezekiel, the 18th chapter. Right? Let me get this first. This is Ezekiel chapter 18 and verse, let's see, it's 25. Yet ye say, the way of the Lord is not equal. Hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal, and not your ways unequal? Because man may say the Most High is not fair. He shouldn't do that. Right? He shouldn't do that. That's not fair. You should let everybody eat. The Most High said his ways are equal, and you're unjust. When a righteous man turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity and dieth in them, for his iniquity that he had done shall he die. Again, when the wicked man turneth away from his wickedness that he hath committed, and doth that which is lawful and right, he shall save his soul alive. I'm going to read that part again. Ezekiel 18:27. Again, when the wicked man turneth away from his wickedness that he hath committed, and doth that which is lawful and right, he shall save his soul alive. So we're not worried about that, man. We don't fear the famine coming to the earth, right? We fear Yahweh Shema Shai, who created the famine. Now, again, we brought out how prophecies somewhat convolute and they mix amongst each other, or they'll overlap. Prophecies overlap. Now, I want to pull this up. Now, this is I want to see how I can pull this up. Look at this madness. I'm gonna just show my screen for now until I can figure out how to pull it up the right way. Oh, we got the brother on here. Shalom, King. I can't hear you. I don't know if you sound.
Shalom, King. Can you hear me?
Okay, Kanye, yeah, I can hear you.
All praises.
All right, now check this out. I'm gonna put this up on the screen, but I'm gonna also show it. Look at this. This from Terror Alarm. God is closing this chapter of human history. Worldwide hashtag campaign. Hashtag stand with Jews is being launched. As figures show, Jews are listen to this outrageous number. Listen, where did they get this number from? Jews, and they mean Amalek, are 500% more likely to suffer hate crimes. You are either with Jews or you are with the terrorists. Join the campaign now. Hold on now. Right? Let me I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. Hold on, you got it right. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up on the screen because this is mad.
That's madness. That's just straight up madness, man. 500% don't even make no sense. They just winging the numbers, coming up with anything, man. Right? Let me pull this quick precept. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, and verse number 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head, man. So the Lord telling you straight up, if you're not taking heed to these warnings and all of these whistleblowers, all of these links, all these prophecies, right? All of these news channels, if you don't take heed to the trumpet being blown, which essentially is the words of the Lord on the deepest level and manifold level, but nevertheless, the Lord said truth will spring out of the earth. The Lord is going to use these scientists. He's going to use these news reporters. He's going to use all of these different nations, right, to have the word come to pass on a manifold level for brothers and sisters to know these things. You got it.
God, and when you have these famines coming on, we know, what's going to happen to these nations, right? We know, because there's two ways to look at prophecy. What happens to Israel and what's going to happen to the world and these other nations. And sometimes the judgments are the same. Like, right? Like, let me get this precept real quick in Jeremiah 25. And sometimes the judgments aren't the same. So sometimes the judgment branches off and deals with Israel, and sometimes it branches off and deals with the other nations. Right? Now, this Jeremiah, I'm not going to read this whole chapter, but I'm going to read chapter 25 and 15. Right? Jeremiah 25 and 15. For thus said the Lord God of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I shall send thee to drink it. So all nations, believe it or not, even Israel, they're going to have to drink of the wine of the wrath of the Lord. Read on. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord had sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, and astonishment, and hissing, and a curse, as it is this day. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and I'm not going to read this whole account, but the Lord lists all these heathen kings. He starts with Jerusalem, the Egyptians, the men of Uz, Philistines, the Edomites, the Moabites, the Canaanites, right? The Elamites, the Lord named all of the nations. Because as these prophecies unfold, all nations are going to be caught up in the judgment of the Most High. Now, or be caught up in the prophecy of the Most High. Now, let me pull this up real quick. And Israel, where do you stand at in this thing? Right? Well, you stand in a time of persecution. Right? You got it right. I want to try to see if I can pull this up. Okay, I got it right here. Okay, no, I don't. Salakia King.
Okay, come. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, right? And I'm going to start at 40. It says, Then said he unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so cannot thou find out the judgment or in the end of the love that I have promised unto my people. It says, And I said, Behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me, or we that be now, or they that should come after us? So Ezra's asking about the judgment, man. What's going to come to pass? How severe is the judgment going to be? And I know you're nigh unto them that you have kept reserved unto the end. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. So, I mean, who hasn't stole from the Israelites? Who hasn't robbed the Israelites? Who hasn't oppressed the Israelites, man? The Lord said he liketh his judgment unto a ring. And all of these nations, they want to be like us, talk like us. The Lord said they shall envy thee, but they shall not be able to do anything against thee, man. Right? It says, liken my judgment to a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so is there no swiftness of the first. And it may take a long time. You never know how long a circle could be, but nevertheless, when it actually reaches and comes around, coming around in the heavy way. And that's not just for Israel, it's not just for Esau, that's for the whole world. The Lord is going to judge the whole world. Right, let me get this quick precept. It's the book, Second Esdras. Right? Let me get this quick precept. Chapter 16. And I'm gonna start at matter of fact, let me get it now. It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at 33. It says, And the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and long suffering shall have an end. So the Lord said he's going to appear upon the seat of judgment. And that judgment isn't just for one nation. All of these nations have a set judgment. Out of the 18 nations, everybody has their set judgment and their lot that the Most High is going to give to them. That's why it's very important to be in prophecy, to understand what's going to happen on the latter days of the earth. You got it.
Khan. And that's what you're looking at right here. You're looking at something that you would only see in the latter day upon the earth. Right, I'm going to read this again. Now, this is not just from Terror Alarm. You may say, well, who are they? Well, it's all over. You can look it up. It's all over. Right? God is closing this chapter of human history. Right? And what chapter is that? You know? Well, that chapter, if you really knew, it's the chapter of Esau's rulership on the world. But they want to equate it to you getting on Amalek and Amalek suffering persecution. Worldwide hashtag campaign, hashtag stand with Jews, is being launched as figures. And I want to know what figures, kind of statistics. What's the source of these numbers? Who's doing this math? Where they getting these numbers from? Who are they talking to? What stats are they pulling up? What stats are they leaving out? They say 90% of all statistics are made up. Right? As figures show, Jews are 500. You know how much 500% is, man? 500%. That means if there are 10 Jakes, let's think about this. 10 Jakes from God knows how many tribes, or let's say nine Israelites, and one Amalekite man, and you disperse all 10 of them. That Amalekite man has a 500% chance of dealing more with a hate crime than Jake, than all of those brothers. He's more likely to get arrested, or what is a hate crime, so he's more likely to be robbed. Because we deal with hate crimes. George Floyd went through a hate crime. It's a knee on your neck. Emmett Till went through a hate crime. Tell me, bring out the accounts of Amalek going through so-called hate crimes, man. 500% more likely. This number is just mind-blowing. Now that's not even a big deal. Well, it is, but here's the bigger deal. The latter part of this verse, the post, right? Check this out. You are either with Jews or you are with the terrorists. You see that? You see this sorcery from this devil? You're either with if you're not with Amalek, you're a terrorist. Ain't no in between. They just laying it out. So who's the terrorist? Who are the people that have been out there on the forefront doing the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man? Proclaiming the judgments. Let me get this precept real quick. Right? This is absolute madness, man, that we have to deal with this. Let's go to Matthew the 10th chapter. Right, real quick. This ain't Matthew chapter 10. Actually, I want 24. 10 is good, but I want a 24. Okay, this is Matthew 24 and 12. It reads, and because iniquity shall abound, Salakia. No, I want 9. Salakia, Matthew 24 and 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that's another thing we're going to have to deal with, man. This is leading to Matthew 24 and 9. Now, you could say, well, I thought we were already hated. Psalms 83. Well, brother, listen, look, you can go to your so-called job right now. A lot of brothers that work, they wear fringes at work. Right? If they got the means to do so, they do so. You think after, as this so-called stand with the Jews increases and hate crimes and terrorist increases, you think these guys are going to be able to do that, man? You think you're gonna be able to just go to the grocery store and not get looked at or kicked out? Go to the bank. People are gonna cut you off on the side of the road, man. Drive you off the road if they see that you're an Israelite, man. They're not gonna want to deal with you. You're not gonna be welcome in their stores because you're either with the Jews or you're a terrorist. You got it, King.
And this is the book of Micah, chapter 7 and verse 2. It says, the good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. So when all hell start breaking loose, it's going to be very rarely that you're going to find anybody that's in the spirit. Because even brothers with fringes on, man, they're going to be taking them off. They're going to be tucking them in. They're going to be fleeing. They're going to be scared. You have to actually go through the things that are written to receive immortality and everlasting life, man. You can't sneak your way to the kingdom. You're going to actually be hated of all men. They may throw rocks at you. They may say, well, it may be a disclaimer in the future before they even hire you, man. Do you associate yourself with the Hebrew Israelites?
Right, right.
And then you're going to have to yay or nay, man. And then it may get to the point that they start stalking you. It gets to, you got certain jobs that got government clearance. Go ahead.
And one more quick point, and they may ask you, how do you feel about Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, man? You know, and you're gonna have to say how you feel about it, man. Who is Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai to you?
That's
what you got it.
Yeah, all hell gonna break loose in that room. Yeah, like they got different government clearance where they'll watch your house or certain things like that. You may work for the government, they may do checkups, they may give you a gas card or whatever the case may be, that they're watching you. Right? It may come in the future where you start working, they start watching you, man. What grocery stores you go to, what do you do in your spare time? They already tap your phone. Right? But it's going to be on a major level, the surveillance and then watching. You got 5 eyes, man. Right? And they literally connect with all of these different things about the internet, your usage, your cell phone, your pictures, your videos, right? All of these things going up to the 5 eyes, and they're watching you, man. So the Lord says, the good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. And they're going to be hunting you, man. They're going to hunt you in the last days like you're a dog. And they're going to be looking for you. They're going to be trying to take you down. And this is all we're going to have to go through, right, for the name of the Lord in the last days, man. Let me get this quick precept too. It's the book of 1 Samuel, right, chapter 23 and 20. 1 Samuel 23 and 20. It says, now, therefore, O king, come down according to all the desire of thy soul, to come down to our part shall be delivered him into the king's hand. So Saul's trying to take down David. It says, and Saul said, blessed be ye of the Lord, for ye have compassion on me. Go, I pray you, prepare yet and know and see his place where he hunts is, and who have seen him there, for it is told me that he dealeth very subtly. So, I mean, men are telling Saul that David is extremely subtle. Meaning David knows how to damn, if it's camouflage, hey, David's on the wall, man. That's how subtle David is. You know, spiritually, right? Mentally. He didn't just dance before the Lord and his clothes came off. This man was extremely wise. So when Paul was coming up to when Saul was coming up to take down David and grab him up, rather, he had spies all around watching to figure out where David was, what he's doing, because he's very subtle. And a lot of brothers in this truth are very subtle. You may speak, you know, good morning, whatever the case may be, but you're thinking in the back of your head, man, you're going into slavery. But they're going to seek out all these things in the last days. It says, see therefore and take knowledge of all the lurking places where he hideth himself. So Saul's telling his men to seek out all of these different places where David might hide. And that's what's going to happen to the military, man. I mean, what they got under the sewage, at your grandmother's house. When it says you're going to be hated of all men, they're going to hunt you, man. It says they're going to be casting you out of your houses in 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. It says, Salakia, and where he hideth himself, and come yet again to me with a certainty. And I will go with you, and it shall come to pass, if he be in the land, that I will search him out throughout all the thousands of Judah. So Saul said, if it be 1,000 men out there, I'm gonna search David out, man, out of 1,000 men. And that's on a carnal level. Think about the so-called white man. He's gonna have more hatred, more zeal, and more damn demonic spirit on him than Saul ever had, man, seeking to destroy the Israelites. You got it.
Con. And this is to add to that, right? This says a billion people hate me, right? Because he's an Amalekite, man. You know, and we know that's that stigma Esau's putting out there, right? We know that that's the stigma he's putting out there, and that the fact of the matter is, if you're in this truth and you speak out against them, hashtag because I'm Jewish, stand with Jews, then you are by default public enemy number one. Now, a lot of people, they leave I don't want to be public enemy number one, and they delete their YouTube account, and they turn their fringes in. I didn't know that this was that serious. Yes, brother, this truth is a matter of life and death, man. This is not a game. It's not a club. It's not a hangout. It's not a damn Little Rascals and Spanky Club, man. This is the real deal. The Most High said that you're going to be hated of all men. The Lord said in Revelation 12, let's go to Revelation the 12th chapter 17, right? This Revelation chapter 12 and 17. It reads, look at this precept. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So the dragon is Esau. He's going to make war. The more you have stuff like this happening, the more you are going to be demonized. The more you have stuff like this happening, the more that you're going to be kind of looked at, man. People are going to have all eyes on you, man. They're going to start saying, yeah, that them fringes, he's a terrorist. The fringes may very well now and in times to come be the sign of a terrorist. That's what the terrorists wear. They wear them things on their clothes. That's how you know a real terrorist. So a lot of brothers are going to start tucking in their fringes. And then they also have a beard. Some men are going to be shaving their beard. You know, so these things are going to be put upon the men and the women and the servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Let me get this in Matthew 10. And you're going to have your family, man. Your family is going to deliver you up. Why? For reward. Why? Because they hate righteousness. Why? Because they hate the Most High. Everybody, more than likely, you got family not in this truth, man. Now, some brothers, I mean, sisters, you have your whole family in the truth, all praises. But then you got that one cousin, your uncle. Hell, hey, even your mother. Your pops. Like we always bring this story out. Quick point. This son and his dad was talking about the true color of Yahweh Shai. And it started getting heated. They start going back and forth. And the son, he says, all right, look, you know, I'm not going to make it a big deal. You got it. So the son turns around and walks upstairs. And the father takes a knife out and stabs him in the back. So the son rolls down the stairs and gets a concussion. You know, this is real. Father stabbing the son for the truth in the back, literally. Another account, this brother was going over the scripture with his family. They're like, look, we don't want to hear that. He trying to break it down to him. So he go to sleep. And then he wake up and his beard is gone. Straight like that. His whole beard is just gone. He calling people out in the house. Who did it? Nobody know who did it. But his beard is gone. Somebody shaved his beard in the wee hours of the night, man. And marred his beard all up. You know? Let's go to Matthew chapter 10. Get this devil off the screen real quick. Right? Let me get this precept at Matthew 10. Let somebody mar your beard up while you sleep, man. Just going to town. Father stabbing sons in the back. Men rolling down the stairs. Hey, they'll do it. Hey, look, man, let me get this real quick. If you got a worldly family to go Black Friday shopping, they're going to deliver you up. They're going to deliver you up. If you got family that go Black Friday shopping, they will deliver you up. Right, quick precept. St. Matthew chapter 10. And I'm going to just get straight to the point. Right, this St. Matthew 10 and 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. So some men going to get grabbed up. Not everybody, you know, is going to have the same lot. Some men going to get arrested. You're going to get caught. You know, the Lord said we're going to be like a pilgrim in the earth, but other men, they're going to kind of get caught. That don't mean they wicked. It is what it is, man. You know? And you're going to be brought before governors and kings. Your sheriff, your governor, you might be brought to a military base, National Guard place. Might have a black bag over your head. Who's Yahweh? Who's Yahweh Shah? Well, do you have brothers? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. All right, you can go free. You're not one of them. Then brother do this when his handcuffs come off. like that's off, man. Damn rubbing your damn wrist, man. It's about right? But the damn cuff came off, man. So these things are going to happen. Men are going to be delivered up before governors and kings, man. What you got, a king?
Con. Well, I want to get this quick precept too. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, and I'm going to start at verse 19. Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 19. But God was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter. So Jeremiah was like, man, look, they got it out for me. It is what it is. I'm like a lamb or an ox brought to the slaughter. And that's going to be a lot of men in the last days, man. No matter how strong you are, what your GPA is, or your job, or the amount of wisdom, nobody cares, man. It says that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had devised devices against me. So people devising devices against you right now, man. Don't think that Esau doesn't have a chalkboard and he's drawing up, okay, laws pertaining. It says in the book of Isaiah, the 10th chapter, they make laws, man. But let me get that real quick. I'm going to come back to this. So Esau right now is trying to come up with laws, right, to make us terrorists. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decreed unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So they're sitting up there making laws. They're making all of these things to overthrow us in the last days. It's Jeremiah 11 and verse 19 again. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter. And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof. So they're going to try to destroy you, your works, everything that you've done. They're going to try to make you denounce the Most High, make you denounce his beloved son, make you denounce this truth. They're going to take you as a tree, chop you down, and take all your fruit and your leaves from you, man. In the land of the living, and Salakia, and let them be cut off from the land of the living, that his name be no more remembered. But the O Lord of hosts, that judges righteously, thou triest the reins and the heart. Let me see thy vengeance on them. So Jeremiah is praying for vengeance. When he's thinking about getting grabbed up and beat and killed, Jeremiah's mind was to prophesy to the Most High that he could see their vengeance, man. And that's what we're going to have to do. We can't just think all hell was over with and it's done. Well, what happened to the 7 sons when you read 2 Maccabees? They was praying for his downfall when all hell was breaking loose in that room. It says, but, O Yahweh of hosts, thou judgest righteously and triest the reins and the heart. Let me see thy vengeance on them. For unto thee have I revealed my cause. So you're going to have to reveal your cause in that room, huh? You can't just sit up there and you just on mute. They ask you all of these questions, pulling you up on the screen, going up to all your computer logs, and you just not revealing your cause, man. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of the men of Anath, right, at that time during Jeremiah, that seek thy life. So you had men in Anath, they were seeking Jeremiah's life, saying, prophesy not in the name of the Lord. So if Jeremiah didn't prophesy in the name of the Lord, these men wouldn't be seeking his life. This is how serious this truth is, man. Who would have ever thought you reading something off of paper could kill you, man? You just reading and telling the truth. You going into the words of the Lord that everybody on earth has seen the Bible. Everybody on earth has opened the Bible. Right? Damn near half of the earth has been in church. Everybody's seen Caesar Borgia. Everybody has understood what a 1611 or King James Bible is. So just by reading the words of the Lord, hey, you could be killed. It says the men in Anath that seek thy life, saying, prophesy not in the name of the Lord. that thou die not by our hand. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will punish them. The young men shall die by the sword, their sons and their daughters shall die by famine. So the Most High is not just going to give you over to the hand of the enemy and you be destroyed. He's going to judge them too, man, and destroy them too. But you got to understand, teaching this truth, just like the apostles did, just like Peter did, just like Paul did, just like these men that got destroyed and killed for the name of the Lord, there's going to be the lot that you may have to live too.
Yeah, and that's something that the Most High has set up to try you. It's called the hour of temptation, because the Most High has to prove you. The Most High has to see if you're really worthy of this thing, man. It's easy to, do a live and, go to camp and, smoke your chest and puff it out and, be somebody, to the Most High turn that fan up, man. When the Most High turn that furnace up, turn that fan up, and that baptism come by fire, the Lord said, then there should be known. Let me get that real quick. Who am I chosen? Right? That's going to be the final test right there, man. These things still have to come to pass. So yeah, we discussed the famine, and let's kind of put it into perspective. The famine is going to be one of the major prophecies that come to pass. Along with the famine, you're going to have this society collapse. And we could read that in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Right? This society collapsed. The Lord said the 4 storehouses shall be suddenly found empty, along with the fact that the Most High said that there should be no work in Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do in Isaiah the 19th chapter. And Ecclesiastes chapter 12, 1 through 4, and we paraphrasing for sake of time, the Lord said the sound of the grinding would be low. So as we talk about so-called Jacob's trouble, we're trying to put it into perspective in terms of prophecy too. So during this time, don't expect America to be a flourishing economy. It's going to be glass in the streets, mayhem, pandemonium. It's going to be an every man for yourself, man, kind of spirit. People are going to form their own cliques, their own clans, their own damn currency, their own rules. Things are going to get bad. They already got the purge law in Chicago or Illinois. They got the purge law. And in Indiana right now, they say if you can shoot a police officer. I don't know if brother saw that. They say if you think a police officer's going off, you got a right to cut him down. They're doing that, man. Look it up. If you think a police officer's going off, you can do whatever you want to do to stop him. Now everybody can just carry a open concealed if I'm using the term right, open carry. In a majority of the states now, because Esau's setting this thing up. He's just feeding you to the fire, man. He's allowing you to have your so-called guns. He's giving you the green light to cut down the police. He's not arresting you and holding you damn in the cells. So these things are happening, man. Now I wanted to read this real quick. Right? Somebody said they did away with that law, right? Well, I want to look into that. Right? But this 2nd Ezra, real quick, chapter 16 and verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. You see that? So that's how you're going to be called the chosen of the Most High. You're not chosen yet. You're just called. I'm called. We're all called into this truth, but you're only going to be chosen if you endure all of these prophecies, all of the affliction, the economy collapsing, World War III, because during the time of Jacob's trouble, bombs are already going to be dropping around the world. Certain cities are going to be destroyed. It doesn't directly mention the city by name. It could be Paris. Because when you read Revelation, the 9th chapter, you speak about the bottomless pit being on fire with the furnace. It could be London. So you got a lot of different cities that's going to be cast down. But one more point, a lot of brothers in the truth, you're going to lose the grasp of time, because you're not gonna really know what's going on in the world, because you're not gonna be on your phone hitting that refresh button. You're not gonna know what's going on in World War III. You're just gonna be looking to make it out of here, man. So a lot of brothers are gonna lose touch with prophecy, for lack of better terms, and you're just gonna be in go mode. Now, if you're a man of the Lord, you're gonna still be remembering certain things, but you're not gonna know what's going on in the world. Right, but you got it, King.
Come on. It's the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 18. It says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. So this world hated Yahweh Shai, man. It hated his righteousness. It hated his zeal. It hated his prophecy. The same way you're going to walk in the image and the light of Yahweh Shai is going to hate you, man. And you're not even going to do anything to be hated. All you're going to physically do is just read, do the work of the Lord, stand out there, tell the people that God-given nationality, and to do exactly what's written, because you don't hate, they don't hate us, really. They hate the Most High, because we're made in his image. We're made in his light. We move in his spirit. So we're just literally a part of the Most High. We're his creation, and we're in his image. So they really hate the Most High, man. You understand? It says, if ye were of the world would love his own. So the world loves Kobe Bryant when he died. The world loves LeBron James. The world loves all of these actresses and actors and all of these men, but it hates you. And the Lord said, we're like a spectacle in this thing. It says, because ye are not of the world. What does it mean we're not of the world? Meaning we hate parades. We hate festivals. We hate the so-called New Year's of this world, man. We hate drugs. We hate all the sex and violence on the left-hand side, man. We hate the sorcery and the manipulation that everybody's attached to and loves. Therefore, we're like an outcast. Therefore, you're the party pooper. You're the outball. You're the outcast. And that's going to eventually catch up with us on the last days, because Esau's going to get tired of us causing hell in these cities, man. They're going to get tired of those niggers shaking their hand in front of every single building in America. Right now, you got us sprinkled around. We might be in front of this building, that building. Move, shoot before I call the police. But it's going to get to the point where every single time you come outside, you're going to see a microphone. You're going to see signs. You're going to see men with fringes on, and they're going to be causing so much hell that, they're going to have to go into the gates of the noble, like it says in Isaiah the 13th chapter. Then it's going to get to a point to where, they got to have to shut this thing down. And Esau don't shut things down politely. He's just armed forced, grabbing you up, laying you down, tying you up, and throwing you in the cells and killing you, man. It says, remember, Salakia, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I have said unto you. Why is the Lord telling you that? Because when these things come to pass, brother, you're going to have to be in the spirit. I know it's going to be hard when they're cracking your back, man. When they're choking you out, when you're physically running and in your carnal mind, you're thinking, where the hell am I going to go? What am I going to do? I have to be quiet. Your heart's racing. All hell's breaking loose. But that's the time to remember the Most High the most, man. When you're in the fire, you don't want to just remember the Most High on the feast day. Everybody just clapping and dancing, and that's the only time you remember the Most High. And you have to remember the Most High in the fire. It said all three of these came out of one mouth, paraphrasing greatly, with the song of the three holy children. Meaning in the fire, all three of their minds was to praise the Most High. It says, remember the word that I have said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So, you got to realize how Yahweh Shai is telling you over and over in the Gospels, in the prophets, and even in the law, right, that prophecy and things are coming to pass, man. So you have to continue to keep watch. And this isn't a game, right? You got it, Ken.
Con. We got famine. We got it's like World War III. We got persecution. I want to go to 2nd Ezra chapter 16. All right, just to show you what's going to be going on the earth, right, at that time. Right, and you don't have to believe us. We're just reading the Bible. Believe the Most High. We're not making nothing up. You can read it for yourself. You can go and get a Bible and pay whatever you want to pay for it If you want a nice Bible, you get a nice Bible. If you want a paperback, you get a paperback. You get the Apocrypha, and you can read these things on your own. You can read these exact same scriptures on your own. These things are inevitable. And there's nothing, you got people saying, well, what can I do to stop it? I want to stop World War III. Can I march? No, you can't stop it. And I would stop you from trying to stop it if I could, man. Trying to stop World War III from happening. We want World War III to happen. We want this thing to go down, man. This is not our rest. Right, let me get this precept real quick. What can I do to stop the prophecies from happening? How can I help? Because that's what a Nick wrote, how can I help? Because when they think about destruction, they don't think it's about their salvation. So when they hear about pain and turmoil and distress, and we're so destroyed that we can't even fathom that destruction is for our enemies and not for us. So they say, well, what can I do to stop it? What can I do to help? Right? Let me read this real quick. This 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So the Most High said the earth is going to be wasted during these days, man. When you look at these malls, skyscrapers, shopping centers, mall outlets, all of that stuff is going to be looted, robbed, broken down. People are going to be doing these things, man. People are going to be boarding up their houses. And if you're not drafted, a lot of people are going to get drafted to World War III. You're going to be somewhere in damn Syria somewhere. A lot of Jakes, you're going to be out there in the Middle East fighting against Yahushua and the angels, man. Being so afraid, and yet there's fight. Some men are going to die in a famine. The Lord said, if you escape the famine, you're going to die by the sword. The famine is going to kill billions of people. And if you escape the famine, you're going to die in war. Right? Let me read on. Verse. Salakia. Oh, I want to read 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. And there's going to be dead bodies everywhere. You think people are going to be burying the bodies? You think it's going to be an ambulance putting them up on a stretcher and put them in that big shelf and burning them? It's going to be dead bodies everywhere. Wild beasts changing their places. Hey, right now we seeing at the harbor a fox. It come out every night now, man, and run past and commit lewdness. So you got foxes out there. You're going to have wild, because when you have all these dead bodies, it's going to bring about the vultures. It's going to bring about mice and rodents. That's going to increase disease. The stench is going to be unbearable. It's going to be a horrible thing, man. Worms eating up men's flesh. It's going to be dead bodies everywhere in these days. These are the things that still have to happen. So don't think Jacob's trouble and affliction is going to be one day. You can't take a nap. Okay, 2 more hours later, I want to wake up and Jacob's trouble is over. Now, there's no telling how long it may be 4 months, it may be 2 years, maybe longer, you never know. But it will have to be at some point for the earth to be wasted and dead bodies everywhere and men still alive. Let me read 2 more. There should be no man, 2nd Ezra 16 and 24. There should be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. And brother seen I Am Legend. That's how it's going to be, man. Or Book of Eli. Or that movie The Road. I like those dystopian movies, man, where they show you about post-apocalyptic life. Because it linked directly up with the Bible, man. So people are gonna be traveling like nomads, pilgrims, and people aren't going to trust in people anymore, man. People are going to be looking at each other sideways, and all hell is going to be breaking loose, man. Robbing, 7 women taking hold of 1 man, looking beat up. Oh, can I? You're one of those Israelites, aren't you? Can I tag along, please? Then she grab you by your fringes, do this. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. Then she grab, come on, take me, please, take me. Curse her without being a city. Then brother, all right, come on. Then the brother might take her, man. So you're gonna have all these different events happen on the earth, man. But you got it, King.
Come. Right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9. And I'm gonna start at verse 17. It says, therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth, right, speaketh folly. So the Lord said in the last days, everybody's a hypocrite, man. Everybody said they want to be on fire and then wasn't on fire. Everybody said they was going to keep the commandments and didn't keep the commandments. Everybody said that they was going to come and stay in this truth and do what they have to do for salvation, but they turn their back from the Most High. And all of your witchcraft and your wickedness is going to catch up with you, man. All of your secret fornication, right? Your secret lying, your hatred, you beating your wife, whatever you're doing in the dark in the last days is going to come out. Hey, like Jacob said, let my righteousness answer for me, paraphrase. So your righteousness is going to answer for you in the last days. If you were on fire, diligent, you know, women shamefaced, submissive to their husbands, right? Meek, lowly, gave charity, right? Taught, did the work of the Lord, and the Lord may have mercy on you. But if you was a hypocrite, a liar, an evildoer, a thief, a murderer, you hated your brother, right? And you didn't do anything to benefit the ministry, hey, you may not make it in this thing. The Lord may kill you. It says, for all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So when you think that the Lord is done, the Lord said he's just getting started, man. When you thought the famine was bad, well, brother, it's just the beginning. When you thought that World War III was at its peak, it's going to get even more vicious, even more destruction, even more vengeance and buildings and holes in the ground, man. It says his hand is stretched out still, for wickedness burneth as the fire. It shall devour the bribers and thorns. So the Lord said that wickedness burneth as a fire, and it shall devour the bribers and thorns. Those are wicked men. The trees, the green, the fruit, the men that have understanding and works, the Lord is going to preserve. Those men in the garden that are bribers, thorns, liars, manipulators, those men are going to be destroyed, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke. Though the wrath of the Lord of hosts, Salakia, through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. So you know when you're about to start a fire and you get your wood, you throw your wood in a circle, and then it has that flame to combust. The Lord said men, wicked men are going to be like fuel to the fire, man. Now you get the little whatever it's called, little
lighter fluid.
Yeah, lighter fluid, man. You get the little bit of lighter fluid, you put it on the wood, and then it just combust out of nowhere, man. The Lord said you ain't gonna need none of that, man. You ain't gonna need no help with this fire. Because each wicked man, woman, and child is gonna be like fuel. You know how fuel is so easy to ignite. All you do is strike a little bit of match, and all the people are fuel, and the whole land is gonna be destroyed. It says, the fuel of the fire, no man shall spare his brother. What does it mean no man is going to spare his brother? Nobody's going to care. If y'all were raised together, y'all held camp together, right? If you knew this brother's mother, he grew up with his sister, nobody cares. The Lord said that the wicked are going to be against each other, and they're not going to spare their brother. And he shall stretch on his right hand and be hungry. Doesn't mean stretch, mean you're gonna be stealing. Stretch forth his right hand because he's hungry. You're gonna be snatching bags, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. Because when you still take that bag, you get that little piece of chips, you get that bread, it's not gonna satisfy you. Think about if you don't walk damn 10 miles a day, 15 miles a day. You're looking for shelter. You're looking for water. You're looking for a river. You're looking for some type of water, some honey right on a tree and somewhere to sustain yourself, some type of shelter. And you're walking and walking. What are you doing? You're burning calories. You're getting angry. And you got people now, they got commercials. I think it's Snickers. They say you get hangry, man. Right? You get a little hungry and now you start being mean. People start getting angry when they're hungry. They start getting itchy and antsy and irritated. Think if you haven't ate for 3, 4, 5 days, man, and you're walking consistently. You're not going to be able to stay in one spot. You're going to have to be moving in this thing, man. Because if you hear destruction right next to this city, and then you look and see peace, so-called, to what you think on the next city over, you're going to have to keep it moving, man. You see trails of smoke, riots of men, trailing downs of forest. Hey, that could mean your life. You got to be on the move. It says, shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. So, I mean, you're going to have a lot of cannibalism and a lot of men that are going to be so weak that they're going to eat unclean foods, man, in the wilderness. You got it.
Khan, and I want to just address this real quick. No flea doctrine, but if we have the opportunity to shall we move out of Babylon? Right? Now, it's not a sin to move out of Babylon, right? Nevertheless, the Most High said in Micah 4:10 that there shalt thou be delivered, there the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies, right? So that doesn't mean get up and flee, right? The Most High, he's going to deliver the elect out of this place, man. They're going to be through the four corners of the earth, but Revelation 11 has to be fulfilled. A 10th part of the city falling, 7,000 men being slain with the sword as they ascend up into the cloud. So these events still have to transpire. It's not a sin to leave Babylon, but me speaking as a man, hey, I want to see this place go down, man. You know, if I could choose to be one place on the earth and get beamed up from it, I don't want it to be somewhere in Antarctica, man. You know, hanging out between the polar bear and the Warrens. I want to be in the thick of it, man. Lord willing. I want to see this place go down. I want to smell the smoke. I want to hear the explosions. You know? I don't want to hear damn wars. Lord, I mean, if we get beamed up anywhere, we get beamed up. But this is just, you know, me speaking as a man. Damn wars clapping their damn hands, man, when you're getting beamed up. Brother, what are you going to tell your lineage in the kingdom, man? How was it? How was it when you got beamed up? What did you hear? What did you smell? What was around you? And you hear you overhearing somebody else tell their son, yeah, I was in the destruction, and then New York got destroyed, then the glass broke, and then the fire smelled like this, and I smelled dead bodies, and now it's your turn. And what did you do? You know, it was cold. It was cold, a bunch of ice around, man. Right? And you try to hype, I was around the beast of the field. Brother, you was somewhere damn with the penguins, man, in the ice. So, hey, the men of the Lord, a lot of the men of the Lord, they're going to be here, man. They're going to make it out of here, man. We're going to put it like that. Right? A lot of the men of the Lord, they're going to make it out of Babylon the Great. It's the headquarters, it's the top spot of wickedness.
Yeah, come.
It's a heavy lot to be brought to Babylon the Great, man. Not saying, you know, brothers in other places are any less or more, but this is the headquarters of deliverance right here, man. You know? Now, does that mean come to Babylon? Does that mean come to Babylon? Just so you can try to get delivered? I don't know. That don't mean that. Like, well, I gotta get to Babylon. I gotta sell all that I have. It, brother. Look, you know, you don't have to do all that, right? Now I want to read this real quick. This is I want to touch on this prophecy real quick in Matthew the 24th chapter. Right, let me get this in Matthew chapter 24. Right, this ain't Matthew chapter 24. And I'm going to start. Man, this whole chapter is good. This Matthew 24 and verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that get sucked in those days. So when it's time for Jacob's trouble, and we on a run, the Lord said, it's going to be a hard life to live if you traveling with a bunch of infants and babies, right? And you are going to have women that are delivered with those children, but if you kind of caught out there, you're going to be caught out there, man. Right? Reading on. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. So that flight is Jacob's trouble. You don't want Jacob's trouble to be in the wintertime. How many brothers actually pray that they flight not in the winter, man? You're just too busy praying for another wife all day. The Most High said, pray that your flight be not in the winter. God forbid Jacob's trouble kicks off and it's 5 degrees outside. That's horrible, man. And if you have children, y'all just, Esau come like a breaking in the door and y'all just got to go. It's 4 degrees out. So you don't want your flight to be in the winter. We was talking about that at CAP, man. We was talking about, well, when would you have your flight? A lot of brothers came to the conclusion, they say early spring. And we had the early spring because then you get all that time, the spring and the summer and the so-called fall. So we don't want our flight to be in the wintertime. Now, ultimately, it's not up to us, man. It's up to the Most High. It reads, but then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. Meaning if the Most High didn't cut the time off, everybody would die. So you got to kind of cut the time short so everybody don't go extinct. That's how much destruction is going to be. Here go the point I want. Then if any man, this is why you got to know prophecy. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. And people are going to do that, man. Hey, Yahushai, he's out here. He's in his cave. He's breaking the scriptures down. He's with the 70. Really? He's there? God save the king. Hosanna, Hosanna. Save now in the highest. You're going to start brothers breaking down palm branches and put them on your shoulder and going to go see the Lord, man. And there's going to be some old white guy in there, man, sitting on the rock. And they're going to hit you upside the head and do God knows what with you, man. So you also have to be aware of the fact that you're going to have these men trying to seduce you to make you follow Yahushua. He's not going to be there. The Lord said that they would show great signs and wonders. Esau got so-called Project Bluebeam. He has I'm trying to think of the name of it. Oh boy, I can't think of it. When they show like these, you probably seen the King when they show like these animations, like from the stadium or they be like at the mall, and make it look real, but it's not real.
Hologram.
Yeah, it's like a hologram. Come the water. So they had these holograms, these things, and expect to see these things. Expect to see Esau sorcery on 666 times that, man. You may see them an illusion of the Lord coming in, and you gotta stay in the spirit, because that could be the Most High trying you, man. Right? Let me read the next verse. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So the elect aren't going to get deceived, but a lot of men, you're going to get caught out there. Oh, Yahushua's in a cave. Oh, wow, look at that. You know how Esau showed them lights that be in the clouds? You're going, oh, that's a chariot. That's a chariot. No, brother, that's that light that be on the ground that they do in Hollywood, and they kind of aiming it in the damn sky, man. You're going to travel over there and be caught out there. So you also want to be aware of the prophecies that concern you on an individual level to make sure you're looking well to your goings. You got it, King.
Khan, that's a good point too, because You gotta think too. If they're trying to find all of Israel in the wilderness and they're hunting you, why wouldn't they make a hologram of a chariot resting above somewhere, as if that's the place you gotta go to, man? Right? And it's just sitting up there, and I got like a damn light coming out of it, man. A lot of people they're gonna come out of the woodworks. They're gonna kind of come up to that chariot, and it's gonna be Esau, man. You're gonna be led right into the trap, right? Because you wasn't vigilant. Right? Let me get this quick precept. This Luke chapter 21, right? And I'm gonna start at verse. So thing is fire. 26. It says men's hearts failing them for fear. So a lot of people are gonna die and faint because of so much fear that's going to be on the earth, man. That's just not talking about you just hold your heart and you keep running. You're gonna actually faint, man. I mean, imagine if you seen just murder as much as you seen a bird just flying around, man. And you seen damn sorcery at such a high level. I mean, nobody has seen these things on the earth. You really can't prepare your eyes for what you're about to see. You know, it's just gonna have to be in your spirit to remember these precepts. Men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, man. And all hell was going to break loose throughout the four corners with these bombs. And all of the heavens of the earth are going to be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So you can't be deceived by Project Bluebeam, because all of the angels are going to cover up the whole sky, man. It's going to be impossible not to see him. And the Lord said his chariots are likened unto what? Clouds. When you go out on a cloudy day and the whole sky is covered with clouds, that's all you see. It's blocking out the sun. Go to the east, the north, damn south, right? All you see is clouds in front of you and behind you. That's how it's going to be in the day of the Lord, man. It says, and they shall see, Salakia, they shall see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Meaning you're going to get beamed up in those chariots. If you live to see that far. A lot of men aren't going to live that far, man. You're going to die. A lot of men are going to be sifted out in the wilderness. A lot of men are going to be destroyed in Jacob's trouble. Right? It's going to be so easy if you're not in the spirit to give up faith, because you're sitting up there waiting on the Lord. You're getting angry. Even Elijah said, man, I'm no greater than my fathers, man. Right under that tree. So you got to ask yourself, what manner of spirit am I? Hey, how wish I acted the cut pass from him? Who are you? Who am I, man? We're just hoping and begging and pleading to the Most High day by day through prayer and fasting and supplication and reading and being diligent as we can in these mortal bodies, that the Most High have grace and mercy on us, man. I mean, it's really nothing you can do. It's a gift. Grace is a gift. Hope is a spirit that the Most High put on you. A lot of men don't even hope for salvation. They hope for carnal things. They hope for slaves. They hope for damn dominion on the earth and just preeminence by themselves. They don't hope for grace and mercy to even live to see the times that we're reading about. It says this, and he spake unto them a parable. Behold the fig tree and all the trees. When they shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that the summer is nigh at hand. So likewise, ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged. And a lot of brothers' hearts get overcharged in the last days, because as wickedness increases, so are the spirits, so are the demons, so are the plagues, so is the sorcery. And it's going to get higher and higher and higher. Brother, don't just think when you came into this truth, you just had 5 demons. Or you had weed, lust, right, sloth. It's the same demons that was chasing you. But now, brother, you don't read Luke, you don't read John, you don't read Isaiah, you don't read the Maccabees, and you don't read the Bible twice. Now these demons are going to have to get strong, because that same demon that came to you before, hey, brother, now you got 7 precepts for him. Now you got 10 precepts for him. So what do you think these spirits are going to have to do now? Come as an angel of light, trick you? Hey, your heart's going to be overcharged by not having a job, maybe. Your children being taken from you. the cares of this life, that's going to overcharge your heart and your mind, and you may not be able to think straight. It says with the surfeiting and drunkenness, right? The cares of this life. A lot of men are forgetting and not watching. And the cares of this life, so that that day come upon you as unawares. For as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell upon the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things. So you got to ask yourself, like the brother was saying earlier, what are you praying for? Are you praying that your flight is not in the winter? Or are you just praying for wisdom all day? Because you're just coveting a lifestyle that the Most High is never going to give you. Because you just want to be something you're not ordained to be. There's nothing wrong with being a disciple. It's not wrong with passing out flyers. It's not wrong with reading, man. It's not wrong with doing the work of the Lord. Find your spiritual gift and exhortate that through the Spirit and excel in it, man. The Lord said that ye are accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. You got it. You on mute.
Right, calm with the water, right? This second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 13. Actually, yeah, verse 13. Second Ezra 2 and 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you that they may be shortened. The kingdom of heaven, it's like the kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. So the Most High said, pray for a few days, man. Right? That's what the Most High is telling you. He's telling you what to pray for. Luke 21, right? Pray that you're accounted worthy to escape all things that should come to pass. Pray for a few days. A lot of brothers, I don't know what to pray for. Well, brother, the Lord told you what to do, man. Pray that you enter not into temptation. That's Matthew 26 and 41. You have straight commandments given to you by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for your own preservation and your household. Now, I wanted to get this too, right? Just going back into a little bit of prophecy. This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And that's speaking about what the missiles fall into the earth. The stars fall into the heaven. It's not talking about a shooting star that you named last week or the Big Dipper. It's speaking about the ICBM missiles fall into the earth. If you look up in the sky and you see a missile high and high, it may look like a star. So John didn't understand what that was, so he just described it to the best of his ability. And he did an excellent job through the Spirit. Right? Verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So as Jacob's trouble is going on and these missiles are falling, these elites are going to be in these underground military bunkers, man. They're going to be hiding out essentially in other parts of the earth. And then the elect are going to be used to round them up and put them in captivity. And again, if you want that lot, well, I'm not going to say if you want that lot because that's predetermined. But if you're seeking everlasting life and the kingdom of heaven to go in and be preserved from this destruction, then there are things you got to do, man. There's another prophecy that say the 2/3 are going to be killed. A lot of people are going to fit that prophecy, man. You have people in the second wilderness that's not going to make it. That's why you got to pray that the Lord don't take the Holy Spirit away from you too, man. If you're not praying that the Most High don't take the Holy Spirit away from you, then what's the point? Because now you're moving in pride as if you deserve to be in this truth, or you're entitled, or you earned it, or you kind of read it a little bit. Now you kind of sealing your fate in the truth. And the Most High giveth and the Most High taketh away. With all of these prophecies coming to pass, with so much judgment in the earth, with so much destruction in the earth, it's only right and it's only profitable for men to pray. And that's Psalms 51 and 11, right? Cast me not away from thy presence and take not thy Holy Spirit away from me. Every brother, every sister should be throwing that prayer up every day, that the Lord don't give you over to a reprobate mind, strange doctrines, to do things that are inconvenient, that the Lord direct your path in truth. He give you clean hands and a clean heart and a sincere spirit to magnify his name, man. These are the things that brothers should be striving to obtain with Yahweh Bashmi Abashad, man. Right, let me get one more real quick before we close up. This Colossians 3:1. Right, it reads, if ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. So every brother, you have to seek the things that are above. Don't get too caught up in the world. Use the word, but don't abuse it. But set your affection on things and above, man. Set your affection on the kingdom. Set your affection on heavenly things. Meditate on the spiritual things. Have a kingdom mentality, a ready to go mentality, any given second mentality. It can hit the fan mentality. What have I done for the Most High lately mentality? This is the mind you have to have, man. How can I magnify the name of the Most High mentality? Right? But you got it, King.
Calm. And like we bringing out all throughout the lesson, you just got to watch, man. Keep watch. It's very important. Right? Let me get these last two closing precepts. Right? I'm going to get the book, Isaiah chapter 21 and verse number 7. It says, and he saw a chariot with a couple of horses. Right? I'm going to start at 6. It says, and thus have the Lord said unto me, go set a watchman and let him declare what he seeth. So the Lord is always setting up a watchman to declare the prophecies and what's being said. And he saw a chariot with a couple of horsemen, a chariot of asses and a chariot of camels, and he hearkened diligently with much heed. And he cried, a lion, my Lord, I stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime, and I am set in my ward whole nights. So that's how we got to be in this thing, man. And don't let it be grievous to you to watch. Don't let it be grievous to you to read and to stay in the spirit, because that's just Satan trying to take you out the spirit and sift you out, man. Sifting out doesn't just come in the form of a woman or lust or a doctrine. Sifting out becoming a slothfulness, like the brother said, being entitled, pride, arrogancy. All of these things could be a form, right, to approach unto you to sift you away from this truth. Right, let me close out with this. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse number 2. It says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. So you know more than anybody what you need to examine and strengthen yourself in. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. So again, the Lord is telling you in the last book, if you're not watching and remaining diligent, the Lord is going to visit you like a thief and blow your candlestick out.
And I'm gonna go to Matthew the 24th chapter and close out with this. All right, this since we're in this topic, this Matthew 24 and 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. So at any given second, it can hit the fan. It could be an EMP attack. Power grid can go out. Esau could bum rush and kick doors down. A bomb could drop and damn blow up some major city, man. And it's like, damn, then things really start happening. A bomb can hit damn London, a damn Beijing. Things can really speed off, man, kick off. It could be a damn false flag attack that Esau set up and blame it on the Israelites. So the Most High could turn things up quick. I'm going to read on. Verse 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known and would watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not have suffered his house to be broken up. So brothers got to be on their P's and Q's, man. Don't get caught slipping, how they say. When a thief come in your house, it's over. You're trying to prepare, trying to figure out what to do. You're getting crust out your eye, and next thing you know, you up in the spirit world, man. And all your goods are gone. You want to pay attention. You want to get into this thing, man. We did a code cut. We may have to do it again on how to watch. And we pulled up the different links you can go to and the different alternative media television places you can go to and who to follow and what to avoid and how often you should watch and when do you hit that refresh button. And we may have to do that again on how to watch. You know, so brothers actually know how to watch these prophecies. Reading on, because you can't watch your local CBS News at 7 o'clock, man. About Uncle Rick, who they're throwing a retirement party for because he's been working at the steel mill for 30 years, man. Or a cat that got stuck in a tree, right? Or the PTA meeting at the local elementary school, the 25th anniversary. That's what they're covering on local news. That can only do so much for you. You have to get deep into these sources that the Most High created, man. Let me read on. Verse 44. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. So if you're watching, if you're in the spirit and all hell break loose and Yahweh Shah returns, you're going to make it out of here. And you're going to be ruler over all of the goods of the Lord. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. So they don't say that out loud, but they'll think it in their mind. Man, ain't nothing really happening. Yeah, I hear what they saying, but I mean, it ain't really that bad to freak off in America. Right? He ain't really returning. I got a little bit more time to be wicked. If you say, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. I mean, you start getting on the brothers that do the work, man. You go back in the world, fall out the truth, and start getting on brothers that's in the truth. What's going to happen to you? The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So brothers better watch, man, and don't get caught slipping, lacking, whatever they say, man. But with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh B'Hashem HaMashiach Malak Abishai. We're going to open up the floor for questions. Feel free to call in at the number posted for those who do have questions about the lesson or about the truth, decently and in order. Right? That's 213-603-9096. And the PIN number is 94809-305. Right? You can see it on the comment board, and it's on the screen. 213-603-9096. And that PIN number is 94809-305 for those who have questions. With that, Brother Naquan.
Shalom, Brother Ryder.
Shalom.